What's up, everybody? Silent Reaper here. Today I'm going to show you how to use and how to work OBS Studios so you can start streaming yourself. Let's get into it. Now the first thing you need to do is download OBS Studios. When you download OBS Studios, you install it, run it, and it should work. It's very easy to find. Just go to your search web browser and search up OBS Studios. I would show you, but I already have it downloaded, and I really don't want to re-download. So here we have the side camera angle. And I know it's going to be a little confusing because there's a lot of stuff in the background. It's like kind of mirroring. Sorry. But anyways, you have your alerts, your chat box, your emote wall, your Grim Reaper, your logo, your video capture device, and this is actually how you're seeing me right now through the video camera. Your display capture, which is how you're seeing the rest of this in the background behind me, and then your audio input capture. The audio input capture. So you're probably wondering what these little eyes are for on the side here. Now the eyeballs over here on the side, for instance, if I click this eyeball, you won't see me anymore. If I unclick it, you'll see me. It pretty much just makes the property invisible. For instance, the logo, it's gone. Turn it back on, it's there. So now we're going to show you what these top 4 sources are. These top 4 sources are browser sources. Browser sources is what something comes from the internet. For instance, the alerts is what, when someone subs or follows you, you're going to get it on your display stating, oh, you got a sub or you got a follow. And then that's usually when streamers start thanking you and all that other stuff, and everyone else will be able to see it. Now, chat box is where you're going to actually see it. For instance, if I click, hi, my little Reaper guy is going to go off. Hang on, let me turn him off. There we go. So if I write hi and hit enter, see, you can see it down here. That's what the browser source. You can get that from Streamlabs OBS on the internet. Ow. Sorry, my nose was itchy. Still itchy. I hate that. Anyways, so when we click on one of these and you go to the properties, you can go to the URL. That's where it's getting it from. You pretty much just copy it over and paste it. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I usually like to go with 60 FPS. It is your decision. You can unclick the custom. It'll just do on its own. Usually it goes for 30. I click it to make 60 FPS. 30's fine. It works. But in my opinion, I like 60. Then you can shut down the source when it's not visible. You can refresh the browser source when it becomes active. And you click OK, and then that's where your alerts are going to come in. For instance, if I get rid of let's go with the Grim Reaper, okay? You click it, you go to properties, it's taking it from the internet. And if you go to my TikTok, you'll actually see how I got this Grim Reaper. And the cool thing is, you can customize your FPS on this little Grim Reaper. He's just a little pet that I like. And then also, for this down here, it's the logo. That's what's making that up above me in the corner right there. That's what's making that logo. My buddy made it. He's awesome. Anyways, so as I said before, when you click the little eye, the eye makes it go away. Now, you're wondering probably what this little lockbox is. The little locket. So when you click the little locket, it undoes the lock scene. So for instance, if I click this, you can drag it and move it wherever you like. And I like him up in that corner. And then when you just click on the side here, you can click the lock and it helps. So then now I can't move it. So it makes it stuck there. Trust me, it helps a lot more than you think. So now I'm going to show you the browser source. Earlier I said when you add the browser source, you hit the plus button, you add the browser. You already have one that exists, or you create a new one. We're just going to keep it as browser. And then the local file, or you can use the URL. The URL is what takes it from the internet. I'm going to show you what that actually is and how to do this. So the first step is, let me get this out of my way. You'll still see me, but you won't see that. You go to the internet, whatever web browser, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, I don't know what you use, whatever you use. And then I already have it linked up on top. You go to Streamlabs OBS. Then when you go to Streamlabs OBS, you're going to go to the alert box. Now this is where it'll show you all of the URLs. You click to show the widget of the URL. I would, but you would see mine, and you don't need to see mine. Just saying. And yeah, you just copy this URL after your, for instance, let's say we go to the follows. All right, now these are all the follows. Now you don't have to use Streamlabs OBS. You can use, what's the other one? The Stream Elements. That's what it is. Yeah, you could use that one if you'd like to. Right now, we're just going to show you Streamlabs. But anyways, yes. Continuing on, you copy this URL after you're done messing around with all this stuff. And then when you copy the URL, you're going to exit out of here. You don't need that on. Or you can keep it up. It's your decision. And then I'm going to drag this back over here. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then when we do the browser source, click OK, and then you're going to copy it and paste it right in here. And that's all you need to do. Now I'm going to show you the video capture device. The video capture device is what's making you be able to see me right now. For instance, if I unlock this thing, I can move the camera angle, as you can see. Now I'm going in a different direction. Now, you can even make it larger. You can make it go down. Now, you're probably wondering, hey, why is that going in between right here? Well, I'm going to show you why. That's because my logo right here, sorry, Grim Reaper in the way. Let me get rid of him. That's because my logo right here is above my video capture device. Now, if I switch it, hold this, and switch it, it's going to look different. See? Now it's underneath. Sorry, my mouse was kind of messing up there. Now, if I go and change it over again, now it's going to go back over top, as you can see. Now, the display capture is the reason why you're even able to see this stuff in the background. Now, I'm going to show you exactly if you get rid of that, what happens. For instance, you hit that little eye. Now you can't see nothing. It's gone. The little eyeballs kind of help you just to get rid of something if you don't need it, but you might want to use it later. That's why I like these little eyeballs in OBS Studios. By the way, I like OBS Studios a lot better than OBS Streamlabs. That is only because of the fact that it takes a lot less CPU. For instance, if you look down here in this corner, I'm only using 3.0% of CPU. In another video, I will show you Streamlabs OBS and how to set that up. I used both. I used Streamlabs OBS at first, and then I switched over to Streamlabs, or OBS Studios. God, I'm stupid. Sorry. Anyways, so now you're probably wondering, let's see what these minuses and pluses and stuffs are. Okay, for instance, we hit the plus. This is everything that you need. So for instance, the text, you can enter a text. Like for instance, you can, a font, just type it out, like O Silent Reaper for instance. And then I'll just show you. So you go to create new or add existence, which we can do the socials. I already have that in my starting screen. You click OK, and here it is. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. Oh God, that's huge. And then we go to properties, you can select font, and then we go to the properties, we typed in the O Silent Reaper. The font is already fine. You can outline it with the black. I got it purple, the occupation, see. Transitions. All that good stuffs. Box, I don't like that. That looks dumb. The outline size is a 10. It makes the lines thicker for the outline around like the O and the S, that black line out there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's for that, which we don't need that here because what's the point? We already have that up on O Silent Reaper, but that's your decision to make. You can make your own decision. I stutter a lot, sorry. And then if you ever actually just want to easily delete this stuff, you don't actually have to go all the way down here and then, click the right trigger or the clicker and then, go to remove and all that other stuff. You can honestly just click onto it, make sure this little thing is actually unmarked or unchecked. So the little locket has, that little hole in there. And then you probably can't even see it. Yeah, that little locket, make sure it's unlocked. And then you can actually move it around. So when you do that, you can easily just hit the delete button on your keyboard. And then are you sure you want to remove your socials? Hit yes, it's completely gone. It's that more simple, I think. Now I'm going to show you an image. Now with the image, you go to Facebook. There's my Facebook little image. It's kind of cool, but we don't need that either. Then you can go to the properties. I got it from a selective file. I'll show you in a minute how to do that. Hit delete. Oh, I gotta click it. Hit delete. And then hit yes. Now, I'm going to tell you the difference between a game capture and a display capture. The game capture is what catches your game only. When your game is at a full screen, it might take a couple seconds, it might take a minute. It's going to just appear your game capture. For instance, like the background stuff. If I minimize this, you can actually see my monitor in the background here, which is kind of cool. You're not going to see that in just game capture. That's only you're going to see like all the background stuff with the actual video capture device. That's the difference between game capture and display capture. Honestly, game capture uses a lot less stress on your CPU. Display capture uses a lot more on your CPU. Not by much, but it's still, when you're playing a game and you're streaming at the same time with a single PC setup like I am, you're better off just doing the game capture, to be honest with you. It just uses less CPU, and you want to save as much CPU as possible. Now we're going to show you what a media source is. You've probably seen it on a lot of streamers' startup screens. It's honestly just the animated background. Like, for instance, you're going to see the starting screen as in stream starting soon or starting soon or etc. etc. You've probably seen it a lot on streamers that just start streaming. I have a media source here. We're going to delete this one, and I'm going to show you the actual way how to get one. So you go down to the plus in your sources. You go to the media source. I'm going to just put this as test because I don't actually need one in here. I'm just showing you. And then you click OK. And then you got your local file. You hit browse. And as you can see, wherever you saved it in your computer is where it's going to be. I have mine in pictures. You might have to dig just to find it. But yes, here's your starting, your BRB, ending scene, your intermission, all your other intermissions, some animated, I guess you could say, can't think of the word I'm looking for. Oh, goodness. Anyways, you know what I mean. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. So we're going to click the starting. Okay, this is just a test, remember. And then I always use the hardware decoding when available. It's so much easier. It makes it take it from your graphics card instead of your CPU. And then what we want to do is we want to loop it. Now, the reason why we want to loop it is so then when like it goes and plays its track, and then when it ends, it completely ends without the loop. With the loop, it'll just restart over like a never-ending video, which is pretty cool. And then we scroll down. You can change the speed. I always leave this to auto, and I never click this. You can change the speed. It's your decision. Click OK. That's what you're seeing now. That's my animated startup screen. And as you can see in that little, here, I'll show you right here. See that little cursor right here? That's just keep going and going and going. It's only like about 6 to 7 seconds long. Well, that's because I put it on a loop. If you turn it off of the loop, it'll end. And then this will just disappear completely. That's not what you want. You want it to keep going until you're done, and you want to change to the next scene. But yeah, that's the starting screen for the media source. Pretty cool. Pretty basic. Then, for instance, like I said, you can go into the properties and you can change the speed. Let's go to, like, 200. Okay, now look how fast it's going. It's like going really, really rapidly fast, which I don't like that. That's kind of stupid. But you probably just heard my neighbors downstairs. Yeah, they like to slam a lot of things. Pisses me off. Anyways, we're going to go back down to 100 because that's the normal. Anyways, yeah, that's the normal. So, yeah, that's the media source. So now we're going to show you scenes. Scenes is where, for instance, you got your starting screen. If I click that, it's going to disappear, like this whole thing. Front camera, that's for my front camera. I have 2 sets of cameras. Honestly, you can label it whatever you'd like. Startup screen is where it has my microphone muted. And then also your front camera is where pretty much it's just showing me which scene is for which one. So when we go to the plus, you can add a new scene, name it whatever you'd like. For instance, my next scene would be probably my side cam because I have 2 cameras. Some people only have 1. You honestly only need 1. If you really just have 1, it'll work. I just have 2. Click OK. Now we're going to show you on how to actually put the audio input capture on, so then your mic can actually see it. So your audio mixer, if it's not showing up down here, what you can do is go to View, go to Docs. Sorry. When you go to Docs, you can go to Audio Mixer. Make sure it's checked. When it's checked, you'll see it. It might not actually just pop up right down below there. It might actually pop up like behind OBS, and then you gotta kind of like drag it in. It's kind of stupid, but in a way, it's kind of cool if you just tweak with it. So when that pops up, you're gonna go to the setting bar. You're gonna go to Properties, and you're gonna make sure you click whatever microphone you have. For instance, you can go to your default or whatever. For instance, mine is the Shure microphone. I do not honestly know what timestamps is, so I just don't click it. So then you click OK, and then you can actually start working with, for instance, when you go to Properties. I say that a lot. Why do I say for instance a lot? Sorry, people. Anyways, go to Properties. No, not Properties. Go to Filters. That's what it is. Sorry. You go to Gain. Now, sometimes people's microphones might need a gain on it. For instance, mine does. Just said for instance again. Why do I keep doing this? Oh. Anyways, go to Gain. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Go to Gain. Now, you can change it to whatever you'd like. For instance, my microphone's going to go a lot louder. Noise suppression is for, like, for instance, I said it again, the background noise, like a TV or a cat meowing, like this pain in the butt. I usually go with the good quality, more CPU usage. I have a really good CPU. I have the Ryzen 7. So yeah, that's what I usually go for. Then you click close, and then as you can see, there's this little level wheel. Now, for instance, I just said that again. When it's turned down, you can't barely hear me. But what you want to do is stick it at least to the yellow. And what I like to do is try to like keep it close to my mouth, sort of. And then I like to record myself and then re-watch it just to see how the audio sounds. And then I'll go like test, 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 testing, testing. And I think honestly right where it's at and where my head is and my mouth close to this mic, I like it right there. Some people like it further back, like way back here. That's up to you. It's your decision. It's your microphone, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Now, you're probably wondering, when you've seen my starting screen, how do I get that transition for the change of the scenes? Like, that little eyeball, you're probably wondering, how do I get that? Well, I'm going to show you. Scene transitions, it's a stinger. If you can't see this down here, what you need to do is go to the view thing again, go to Docs, and you're going to look for Scene Transitions. Make sure it's checked. Again, it might be behind OBS. You might have to drag it in. Anyways, moving forward. Go to the little wheel thing here in the settings. Go to Properties. Now, this is where you get to the browser source. Same thing with the media that I showed earlier. Now, I have my transition point at 400. Tweak with it, mess around with it, whatever makes you more comfortable, whatever you like. Now, I do milliseconds. I don't do frames. I like the milliseconds better. That's just my choice. You go to the, you browse, you grab your transition, then you can preview it. Mine's right there. It's going to be wherever you have it saved in your computer. Audio monitoring, you can change it to whatever you like. I have mine off because I don't want to hear it. I want my other, my fans, my viewers, all that to hear it, but I don't want to hear it. It gets annoying after a while. And then for the audio fade style, like, I guess you could say when the audio starts going off. Oh, sorry, orange juice really gets me. Now, when the audio starts, it like fades in, gets louder, and then when it goes away, it fades, out. Mine's opposite, so it's fading out and then fading in. You can change that too to the crossfade. Honestly, just tweak with it, mess around with it to whatever fits your needs and whatever you like. Now, when you preview it, it goes from A to B. Now, let's say I change this to like 100, right? Change it to 100. Now, it hit B first, and then it did the transition and hit B. I don't like that. So that's why I changed mine to at least a 400. You can change it to whatever you'd like, whatever makes you comfortable. Hit the preview. Now it stayed on A. It didn't hit B first. It did the transition, and then it went to B. That's what I like. Honestly, you can even make this a lot higher. On other ones, I've made it up to 1,000 before. Always use the hardware decoding when available. Always do that. It's for the best. Click OK, and then when you change your scenes, you're going to get the stinger. It's pretty cool. Now we're going to show you the settings. When you go to the settings, you see this little this big bad boy. I can't speak today. I'm sorry. Your general, usually I just leave this alone. I left it alone to where it was already at, and it worked fine for me. Go to stream. Make sure you activate your account. Now, this is my preference. Your preference could be a lot different. Mine is a rate control by CBR. I like the CBR. It's a lot better. I honestly would advise staying with CBR. My bitrate is a 6,000. I stream 1080p 60 FPS. Now, sometimes your internet might not be able to handle that. Stronger internet, the better or more, I should say, you're going to be able to stream at 1080p 60 FPS. Honestly, though, you don't need it. You really don't. Honestly, your best decision when you first start out is to stream in 720p 60 FPS. There's not literally much of a difference, and you're going to be saving a lot more on your GPU and on your internet strength. Now, with the bitrate, when you're going to the 720 to 60 FPS, you're going to want to stay probably around 4,500 for your bitrate. That's right there. Keyframe, always put at 2. I always put at 2. Quality, profile is high. Psycho visual turning, check mark that, turn it on. And then the max B frames turn on 2 as well. Now, they do have internet sources. For instance, you can go on the internet and, search up Twitch or wherever you stream for your certain bit rate and what would be the best for your internet speed. It'll tell you. It'll tell you how to set this all up. It's very easy. Not really too familiar with audio. I just left it alone. It was stuck on where it was, and I just leave it alone, and it stayed there, and it works great. If you want to tweak with it, go for it. It's your choice. Just be careful, I guess. That's all I can say. Just make sure you remember what was there before in the previous, if you don't like something. Video, I have mine, obviously the base canvas at 1920 by 1080. The canvas resolution is what you're seeing, this whole big screen right here. That's just the canvas. You can make your canvas a lot better, I guess you could say, than your actual output. The output scaling is what the viewers are going to see. Now, mine's at 1080. Like I said, I stream at 1080 to 60 FPS. Now, the output is what the viewers are going to see. For instance, if you make it 720, they're going to see 720, but your base canvas, what you're going to see is still 1080. So you're still going to put a lot less stress on your internet, especially if you have a lot of people using the internet. It takes a lot less on it. Now, the downscaling filter, I use the LAN Carzo. Sorry, I can't even pronounce that freaking word. The sharpen scales 36 samples. Some people might be different. Honestly, your best bet is to look online to see what would be best fit for you. The common FPS, I stick around 60. You can make it go to 30 if you'd like. It's your decision. I like 60 frames per second. Makes it a lot smoother. 30 FPS is fine, but it's just not as smooth for me. I don't like it that way. But it's your decision. Now, advanced. General, I go to above normal. I don't go to high, I go to above normal. The rest of this stuff, for instance, there's a stream delay. Now, the stream delay is when it's actually going to upload to Twitch for people to actually read it. There's usually always a delay. For instance, when I just, say, hey, it's going to take like probably about a second or two for it to actually go through Twitch and they're going to see it. So keep that in mind. You can actually make it more of a delay. When you're first starting out, I actually put it to like a 5-second delay, because there was times that I actually didn't look over to the chat box and I didn't see people actually chatting. And then, when you're in the middle of Call of Duty, someone's killing you or something, or someone's got you down, or your teammate's coming over on Apex trying to heal you or something, whatever the game you call it, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the chat because I was busy paying attention to the game. I didn't want to die. So make sure you pay attention to that chat. It is very important. That's why I usually leave the stream delay when you actually get more of a catch to it. Frequently look over there in a blue moon, frequently. Don't just sit there and, take forever to look over there. Because then it's going to get boring. People aren't going to like that. People want to actually associate and get to know you. Now, I left a lot of all this other stuff alone. You really don't need to touch most of this stuff. When you're done, click OK, and you should be good. And then you can honestly, click this to start streaming, and you should be all set. After you change all your scenes, your sources, should be all set. Now, hopefully this video helped you on trying to make your own OBS work for you, and also give you a guidance on how to work OBS. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. I love every single one of you. And don't forget to hit that little bell to know when the next video comes up. I will be doing a video on Streamlabs OBS at some point. I'm not sure when. Probably next week, just to show you on how to work Streamlabs OBS. And I do stream on Twitch. I have a schedule in my Discord server. I have to do it that way because I have a part-time job. My part-time job is very random, so I post every week on what days I'm going to be live. So if you have any comments, concerns, I'll put the link down in the description for my Discord, and I'll put the link down in the description for my Twitch. If you'd like to join and say hi maybe, or comment on the video, or ask for some help or guidance on something that I did not go over. Until then, O Silent Reaper, catch you on the next one.